In the previous lesson, we talked about intervals. Intervals are measuring distances in music. Distance from one note to another are measured in intervals. They are called seconds, thirds, fourths, etc. Usually, the distance from any white key to the next white key, up or down, is called a second. Seconds are usually written line space or space line. Let's listen to the up second interval. Now it's down a second. Now let's move on to the third intervals. Usually, if you skip a white key, the interval is a third. Thirds are written line to line or space to space. Let's take a look at the example here on the treble staff. The first two notes in the first bar of the treble staff are C and E. The second measure of the treble staff are G and E. The last one is a C. As you can see, all of the notes here in the example are line notes. C is the line note below the first line of the treble staff. E is on the first line and G is on the second line of the treble staff. The example shows here the thirds are written line to line. Let's hear how the third sounds like on the piano. This is C to E. This is E to G. This is G to E. This is E to C. Now let's take a look at the example on the bass staff. The first two notes in the first bar of the bass staff are C and E. In the second bar, there are G and E. In the third bar, it's a C. All of the notes in the bass staff are space notes. The first note, C, is in the second space. The second note, E, is on the third space. And G is on the fourth space. These thirds are written space to space. Let's listen how the note sounds like on the piano. C to E is up a third. E to G is up a third as well. G to E is down a third. E to C is down a third. There are more things that we need to know about the intervals. What we have learned so far are called melodic intervals. Something opposite to melodic intervals are called harmonic intervals. When notes are played separately, they make a melody. The intervals between melody notes are called melodic intervals. On the other hand, when notes are played together, they make harmony. The intervals between these notes are called harmonic intervals. Let's take a look at the following examples. The first example is the second interval. The notes on both of the bars are C and D. However, in the first bar, the C and D are supposed to be played separately, while the notes in the second bar are supposed to be played together. The first two notes in the first bar are melodic second interval, and the notes in the second measure are harmonic second interval. Let's listen to the melodic and harmonic second intervals on the piano. This is a melodic interval. This is a harmonic interval. The second example is a third interval. The notes on both of the bars are C and E. The first measure, the notes are supposed to play separately, while in the second measure, both of the notes are supposed to play together. The notes are supposed to play separately are melody. They are melodic intervals, while the notes are played together are called harmonic intervals. Now let's listen to the third intervals. This is a melodic third interval. This is a harmonic third interval. In the third example, the notes are written on the bass staff. The notes on both of the bars are G and F. The first two notes in the first bar are supposed to be played separately, while the notes in the second bar are played together. The notes are to be played separately are melody. So the first G and F are melodic interval. In the second bar, the G and F are played together, so they are harmonic interval. Let's listen how they sound like on the piano. This is the melodic interval. This is the harmonic second interval. In the last example, there are third intervals on the bass staff. The notes on both of the bars are G and E. Again, the two notes G and E are supposed to play separately in the first measure, while in the second measure, G and E are about to be played together. The first G and E to be played separately are melodic interval, and the second G and E to be played together are harmonic interval. Let's listen to the third interval on the piano. This is the melodic third interval. This is the harmonic third interval. Now let's talk about how to write the intervals. With melodic intervals, it's a lot easier because you just write the notes separately. You can either write the note above or down of the note that you want to make interval. For example, you want to make a second interval based on the note C, so you can write either D next to C or B next to C. B is the note below C and D is the note above C. However, if you are going to write a harmonic interval, you have to be careful at your writing to let your reader to understand what you're writing about. For example, the notes of harmonic seconds are written side by side. Usually they touch a little bit to each other. And the notes of harmonic thirds are written one above the other.